of the things that I definitely like to do, especially after I've added a lot of different items to my wardrobe, is to go through my wardrobe, especially after I've had some time to wear those items, because not everything is a good fit. Welcome to the ladies' dressing room. Today we are talking all about giving my clothes a second life and making sure that there is a place for everything. So, as many of you know, because I've shared on here over and over again, especially within the past month of May, that I love purchasing items on Poshmark for my wardrobe. I mainly find a lot of my dressing gowns and nightgowns on Poshmark, but there are so many other things that I have found on there as well. Whether that would be dresses, skirts, blouses, I have found so many pairs of shoes on there, as well as handbags, things like that. So I've also found perfume on there, but I don't think that you're supposed to sell perfume on there. So maybe that's not the best thing to advertise on here. But anyway, one of the things that I definitely like to do, especially after I've added a lot of different items to my wardrobe, is to go through my wardrobe, especially after I've had some time to wear those items, because not everything is a good fit. And the sooner I can basically purge my wardrobe, the better. And that may seem a little odd to some, but I truly get a lot of enjoyment out of trying to find different pieces that would work well for my wardrobe, but I'm also of the understanding that not everything does. And so because of that, I really don't like to hoard those items or just save them just because. I do have items that I've talked about in the past too that I will save, especially if it's not something that fits me, but maybe it did fit me. There might be some things that I might save, but for the most part, if I'm not going to be wearing something, or if I just didn't like the way that it looked on me or the way that it wore, whatever the case may be, I will likely list it as soon as possible. And I do prefer listing things over just donating things, because a lot of the pieces that I've purchased, I just feel that they will last a long time. I feel that somebody else will be able to get a lot of use out of it and they will love it. And I have so many ladies who have purchased from me in the past, especially from my Poshmark closet. I was actually going through the history of all of the different things that I have sold over the years, and it was really eye-opening, but it was also just a moment, like I had this moment of gratitude for those that have helped support me over the years, those who have purchased. I know that so many purchased because this was, well, YouTube was the place that I had done a lot of the advertising for all of my clothing. So anyway, today I wanted to share with you the importance of having a main place where you are going to take your pictures, especially if you yourself are going to open up your own Poshmark closet, or if you already have one but maybe you don't have a lot of success when it comes to selling items. So we're going to talk about that today. One of the things I'm getting ready to do right now is to picture all of the dresses or nightgowns that I am going to be posting on my Poshmark closet. So first and foremost, I wanted to get the whole scene together, and this will be something that will be consistent across all of my new uploads of whatever it is that I'm going to be selling. For myself, it just makes it a lot more seamless, and it just, I don't know, I like the continuity of it. It makes me feel better about the pictures. I know exactly where I'm going to be standing. Everything just kind of looks better when you have some kind of uniformed picture that you are going to be taking, or just a place that you want to hang that item. Ideally, I would have a hook, but I haven't had my husband hang a hook just yet. And also the place that I wanted to put this hook, I wanted to make sure that it had good lighting all the time. So sometimes that can be tricky too. Picturing things within my office is not always, it will not always have the best lighting, for instance. But one of the things that I'm making sure to do is to use overhead lighting in addition to natural lighting. So that's what you are seeing right now. This is with overhead lighting, natural lighting. I do have a couple of lamps on in here, but that I don't really feel makes that big of a difference at this point. I also put this little side table here with my flowers on it. It's kind of set up the way that it was when I, walked the runway basically, but I'm keeping the carpet out of it. By that I mean the rug that I had there before. Now I just hung a few of the pieces up that I know that I'm going to be picturing, but there are actually a lot more dresses that I would say, were not my favorite. They're probably not ones that I'm reaching for all the time. I can keep them in my wardrobe, but if I upload them to my Poshmark closet and somebody happens to purchase them, I will not be so sad about it. I'll probably be happier to send it to a home where someone will want to wear that dress all the time, as opposed to me wearing it once in a while. So when I go through one of these seasons of purchasing many dresses at a time, as I did for a dress a day in May, I know that not everything that I purchase will be something that will remain within my closet. It may not be something that wears well over time. It may be something that I can really only know after I've worn it a few times if I'm really comfortable in it, and therefore it's not going to be something that I'm going to be able to return at that point. And that can be the tricky part about finding dresses that really suit you, that you love, that will stand the test of time. And that's something that I've already spoken about. So we have sites such as Poshmark, Vinted, OfferUp, things like that, where we can also resell items if they just weren't right for us. And so I have done this so much over the years. So I've already taken a few pictures, and I just want to show you what it looks like from going from there to here. So I make sure to take a, just a photo of the dress itself. This is what will be the cover photo when someone is searching for a specific item. Then I also like to take a picture of the tag if possible, because this indicates what kind of fabric it's made out of, and also the size. So I try to get a close-up if possible of the size of the dress, and then of the fabric or some kind of detail in there. This is of the waist, and so it has this kind of ruffled waist to it that's also elastic. And then the sleeves, or some kind of shot of just the bust area. So this I have found to be very helpful, and you can put as many pictures, well, there might be a limit. You can put more pictures than that. You can also take a picture of the back. I don't necessarily always do that myself, just because it depends really what the back looks like, if there's some kind of added detail. But if it just goes to the top like that and you can kind of see it like that, I may just leave that part out. But sometimes other angles would be good. And I used to try to get a shot kind of with the sunlight or natural light coming through. That way you could see how sheer something was, but I don't necessarily try to do that, at least not in these pictures that I took for this specific purpose. So now that I have my my basic shot and setup that I'm going to use. I've hung well, not everything, like I said, but I hung up a lot of the items that I had waiting to picture so that I can post it to my closet. And I've just hung them up here. I've kind of gone through them. I know that I need to iron a few just so that they will picture better, or I want them to picture as best as possible. So in order to do that, making sure that things are ironed or steamed, I think is really important. So I'm going to take some time to do that. I'm also going to go through a lot of my other dresses within my drawers just to see if there are other things that I would not be opposed to parting with, even if I am okay with keeping them for now. Now, a huge part of being prepared to ship items is to make sure that you have at least all of your stuff ready. You're not going to have to search for anything. So what I like to have on hand always is packing tape. I do have this for other purposes, some scissors, also just all of my shipping supplies. So here I have a variety of different poly bags, as well as the cellophane bags that I typically, if the item will be able to fit into that first, and sometimes I just really try to make it fit because I feel like it holds the shape better if I can wrap everything up in the tissue paper that I use, which I have right in here. Tissue paper first with a thank you card and a ribbon on top, and then if it all will fit in a cellophane bag first, I like to do that. I get all the air out of it that way, and then I will put it in a poly bag, and then on top of the poly bag I will put the label, the shipping label, tape it, and it will be ready to go. So anyway, having all of my supplies at hand makes a big difference. I do like to put a ribbon around the item after I've put some tissue paper over it. That just holds everything together well. It looks beautiful. And something else that I have as well, and that I have yet to really make, are little tags for my shop or for my closet. And so once I do that, which will actually be something I'll be doing very soon, I have these little safety pins right here, which are kind of like closed pins that are good for attaching your what is it, like your shop tag or something like that. So I just have that in here. Once I'm actually going to start using it, I will just put it in a jar as well, but for now this is how I transported it when I had moved everything. So that's where it is right now, but eventually that is something that I do want to add to this space because it really does make a difference. I also have some fabric spray here in case, you know, you just want to add something like a pretty scent to it, although you kind of have to be careful about that because some people really dislike, you know, anything that could be strong or scented. I've had someone write a bad review saying that, you know, the item that they received smelled horrible, and that made me feel really bad. But the good news is that 99.9% of the time people are very happy with their item and the way that it smells, which makes me happy. But you know, you get those stragglers. So anyway, setup that makes it easy for you to pack and ship, and that you have everything at the ready makes all the difference. Actually, Poshmark has made it so easy to upload to be able to sell on your closet now. Because of AI tools and whatnot, they have made it to where they can practically list the item for you before you would have to put in all of the different little details. But the more pictures you take, I think that the easier it is for them to list the item for you and to fill in all of those little gaps of the things. So I know that that is one of the reasons why so many decide not to put forth the effort to try to list their items, because you have to ask yourself, is it worth as much work as you're going to have to put into it? I have found, especially this last time that I listed items, that it really didn't take as much work. It's just about making sure that you have the space that you are going to take your pictures in, that you can take, you know, make sure that you are at the same distance away each time, make sure that the setting looks the same, make sure that the lighting is good. All of these little key factors play a role in taking wonderful pictures that are well lit, that look more professional, I would say. And one of the things that I wanted to share with you was that if you have an iPhone, you go to the photo section. Down at the bottom, I wonder if I could show it here. Down at the bottom, if you scroll over, you can go to portrait mode, which is what I ended up taking all of those pictures in. And then it just has a prettier look to it. And you can also choose what kind of lighting you want to go with. And I went with studio lighting. So it kind of offered a certain kind of vibrancy to it that I really could appreciate. And just everything looks so much prettier in portrait mode, if you ask me. And then it also zooms in a little bit, and you can just play around with it. But just know that there are different settings on your iPhone camera. And I think other cameras, if you have an Android, for instance, there are different settings on that one as well. So it will make a big difference to look up what those settings are so that you can take full advantage of that and your pictures could look very professional. And then just having a space where you can then store them, where it is clean and it won't end up having a lot of weird smells because you would be storing the items. This is really important. For myself, I have a few drawers in my laundry room that I like to use for that. Then just folding those items just so that when I open those drawers, I'm able to find exactly what it is that I'm looking for. So that is very important as well when it comes to selling items, that you're not going to feel as if you've lost anything. You want to make sure that you keep everything together. So just know I am linking my Poshmark closet in my description box below. If there were any dresses that you really loved, maybe there is something that I will be listing on there. Now just know, probably by the time this video goes out, all of the dresses are not listed yet, but I just kind of wanted to put out there that I am going to be listing dresses this week, and that way it kind of gives everyone who is interested an opportunity to follow my closet and then to be able to see the items as they are listed. So just know that there will be things throughout this week that I will be listing. Quick ship times, they make a big difference, especially when it comes to getting good reviews on the site and with your customers. And then also just making sure that you picture everything in a way that those who are looking for the item would be able to see it. Also, don't forget about measurements. This is something that I will say in the past I don't always do a great job of, just because I'm trying to add so many different things at one time, but it is something that I try to go back through and possibly get another picture of, just to make sure that I have the proper measurements on there. And then even if you don't get a picture of the measurement of, say you're going armpit to armpit, or the length for instance, that at least you would put those numbers in there. That can save you needing to answer a lot of extra questions. Today's dressing space comes from Jen. She says, putting together a dressing table has been an intriguing and inspiring adventure. Nikki, I will forever be grateful to you for making the everyday beautiful and teaching us how to appreciate each day with beauty. My grandmother's mom and mom-in-law had special dressing tables. I always wanted one and was not sure how to find one, and hoping to find a larger one someday. It gives me great joy to assemble this dressing table. My humble table has my grandmother's white tablecloth and my mom's blue tablecloth. I cherish and love my mom's cloth placemat that has her dresser drawer under it that houses my makeup. Also, the needle-pointed chair beside the dressing table was my sweet grandmother's that she needle-pointed. All these treasures hold extra precious memories. One starfish necklace on the butterfly dish was made by my granddaughter, and the colored paper was colored by my young grandson. I have always loved Lily of the Valley flowers, and these are next to the same candle and fragrance by Yardley. You also encouraged me to find a fragrance that is extra special, since I have never bought for myself either. This whole experience also gives me much delight, remembering dress-up moments with my sister in childhood. I am extra blessed having a dressing place and feeling very loved. Jen, you have such a sweet little dressing space area, and I love how you put everything together here. And not only that, but just that they are things that remind you of your loved ones. That makes a really big difference. Thank you so much, Jen, for sharing your space with us. If you have yet to share your space, I hope that you will. You can email me at inspiredbynikkiyt@gmail.com, and that will give us an opportunity to see your special dressing space, whatever that is for you. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. I just want it to be yours. So if you have any questions about that, please look in my description box. I do have everything in there that you would need to know before sending the picture my way. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really hope that this video inspired you in some way and that you will choose beauty every day.